be recorded so that it can be sent. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I've started recording. Okay, Isaac, Jerome, Fred, Godfrey. Mr. Godfrey, are you there? And Fred?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, so members, we are going to be having a discussion about using Google Sites as a pedagogical tool. In this series, we are looking at Certificate in Digital Pedagogy, which is a program running an initiative of Ezone School of Computing, which is a certified DIT training center, and also in conjunction with the ICT Teachers Association of Uganda. And I'm glad to be joining you today to facilitate this session where we are going to be looking at using Google Sites as a pedagogical tool and look at it in the perspective of 21st century education. So let us go straight in. I'm called Rogers Mukalele, and I'm an instructor at Makere University Jinja campus. Greetings from Jinja, where I am right now. And I am also a trainer with the National Cultural Environment Center for the new curriculum. We have been moving the whole holiday, various regions, training teachers, and ICT integration is one of the things that we encourage teachers to use, embrace ICT and integrate it. And one of the ways is being content creators, being impactful teachers. I'm also a director and board member at ITAU, ICT Teachers Association of Uganda, which started from 2017 and continuing to push. I'm also director for Ezone Web Services Uganda, where we do websites. And today's topic is, I'm passionate about it. Personally, I've made, I think, more than 50 websites, and I've supported many others. And this is also something that I'm passionate because I love e-learning, as also director for Shareability Uganda e-learning. So that was just to introduce me and justify why I'm really happy to join you for this session. Okay, so we shall go straight in. In our session today, we are going to be looking at a few things. We are going to look at one, essential traits of a 21st century educator and why you need an online home as a 21st century educator. Shall briefly look at what is a website and what it takes to get one. Then why Google Sites of all softwares? There are many softwares for creating websites. Why did we choose to include Google Sites in this bachelor certificate in digital pedagogy? Why didn't we use Wix, WordPress, Joomla, and others, or coding in HTML? Why didn't we use any of those? And we are spending this quality time to look at Google Sites. On record, actually, I also work with WordPress community. I love WordPress, but why am I talking about Google Sites today? And creating a professional website, step by step, we need to look at that. And my colleague Godfrey Mukisa is one of the members who have been using website or Google Sites. He has two sites, mukisa.org and Pilinat, running on Google Sites. He will share with us some experiences and other considerations. How do you it's not just about creating a website. You have to make sure that you are putting the right content. Creating educational content is key. Structuring your website, publishing, getting a domain name so that the website can easily be found. There are a lot of other considerations that we are going to be looking at. So basically, I hope this meets your expectations, members. In case you have any request, you can always put up your hand, and feel free to share and give your input. Okay. So let us first look at the 8 traits of a 21st century teacher. Okay, I'm going to ask members here. These are some of the traits of 21st century teacher. In the 21st century, we are not just teachers in class to teach on the blackboard, give an exercise mark, and that's all. We are in a global village. We teach in and out of class, offline and online. We have to have a number of traits. I'm going to ask some of the members here to share from what you are seeing on the screen. Why do you think an educator needs to have online presence? You can also be able to anchor your answer on any of those traits that you are seeing there on the screen. Mr. Ogwal, you are my host, but I'm going to start with you. What is your take on the eight traits of a 21st century teacher? Mr. Ogwal? Okay. Yes, David. Please, members, I don't want a boring class. When I started, before I started, no one was even coughing. Now, David, please, you have your hand up. You can unmute. Are you able to unmute?
Yes, I have unmuted. Well, for me, I think a teacher or educator needs to have this online presence, and I'm going to talk something about collaborative. We live in a global village, and you can have, maybe you may have something maybe you want to share with your fellow teacher, and this fellow teacher is very far. So I think you can find a way of sharing this information. Physically, you may be very far, but through collaboration and this online presence, you may accomplish the tasks which it could be very, very hard for you to accomplish if you were at a distance and you're supposed to travel in the school.
Okay.
But you can just do online. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, David. Let me get another person to say something. Isaac?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. I think, why do you think a 21st century educator needs to have online presence? I think an educator has to be updated. He has not to be left out. There's something that I've noticed that I nowadays, I rarely use my television. I usually use my telephone and my computer. And most of the times I find myself ahead of the people who are watching televisions and radio. So to be updated, and also since I'm an educator, I'm thinking I will need to meet an audience of my students maybe the next day. And these people have, let's say, a class of 70. And if maybe they have an access to a computer or internet, I'm thinking we have 70 people 70 topics ahead. So I need also to be updated on the latest music, latest development, and so on. So it is for updating and not to be left out. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let me get one more person. One more person. Mr. Derek Computer. Jerome.
Yes, Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My take, of course, as a teacher would be that gone are the days when we used to use what we call yellow notes. You would find a teacher is using a book for 10 years and these notes are actually not updated. But when you are present online, you are able to actually to have updated notes for your learners. And bearing in mind that also there are certain things that change. So information is actually not static. Information is dynamic. You find a long time ago when we were running, we started there are 3 states of matter, but as per now, I get to know that there are 7. So online presence helps you to update the content that you give to your runners. That's my take. Okay,
thank you very much. Maybe the way members are answering this question, they could be understanding this question differently. Let me try to do something here. I'm going to do some search. The online presence I'm talking about is not you having data for WhatsApp or Twitter to check messages and what people are posting and update your notes to get information from Google. The online presence I'm talking about is if the learners come and they search for Isaac Musinguzi. What do they see? Do they see you or they see other people? I can say Isaac Musinguzi here and Isaac Musinguzi. Now this is LinkedIn. You can get online presence through social media. Okay. If I search for Ogwal Isaac, do I get the Ogwal Isaac? You see, I'm seeing one on Twitter, and I'm seeing another one on ICT Teachers website and on senior1.org. Okay. So you see, we are teaching children who are digital natives. If someone comes and searches for Jerome, let me get your name very well. Hale. Let me get your name very well. Hale. Me. Okay. So when they search like that, do they get the Jerome? So far if I've searched, I'm not seeing anyone who has a website. I'm seeing social media. So if I search for myself, Mukalele Rogers, first of all, I see mukalele.net and my website is there. Then I see other sites, the Twitter, the other sites are also there, the Facebook and all that. So if the learners go home and they search and they see their teacher, these children are digital natives, they have devices now. This is the, so when they are looking for notes to read, there will be more, because if they search and they see on Twitter, they will see your social media, but they may see other things you are posting about Manu. They may see other things that you are posting on your social media. Maybe you are engaging in some discussion about Shiba, which is happening now. So is that what you want them to read? Because as teachers, we are role models. We are role models, and these learners need to learn from us. So all of us, as educators of the 21st century, we are storytellers. We should be relevant. We should be student-centered. When they search about you, they should find resources just by searching about you. So all of us need to have a digital presence, and there are a few reasons here. It enriches. So digital online presence means you have an online home. When you go on the internet, you don't just search about Google and what other things. You also have a home on the internet. That's what the Uganda say. So it will enrich learning for your digital native learners. They should make sure you have an education website where your learners can find you and can find some of your materials. On my website, I sell books and many other things. It amplifies your digital reputation as a teacher. It markets you as a resourceful facilitator of learning, and many other reasons. So we should really all be interested to have a plot of land, as the Baganda say, on the internet. So, what is the website? So this is a website which I'm saying Chivanja or whatever. So what is a website? A website, we normally say it's a collection of web pages. Collection of web pages, that is a website. And it can be an e-commerce site, it can be a business site, it can be a marketplace site, it can be a personal website, it can be a blog. So you can create a blog. Blog can be a chronological journal where you post your thoughts, but we can teach you to create blogs using something like Blogger. But with Google Sites, you're going to do a personal website, which is more professional than just a mere blog. So you can have a well-structured website, and you can use it and even get a domain name like halemimana.org, and you command more authority there. So that is basically a website. A website has information. When we search on the internet, we find a lot of information there for entertainment, for many other things. So all of us as educators of the 21st century, we need to have an online presence. Now, what does it take? There is a book that I'm having here. I'm going to share with you. What does it take to create a website? I'm going to share with you this book in the Google Classroom. There's a book called Website Design Basics for Web Design Basics for Educators. Web Design Basics for Educators. So if you thought web designers are only business people making money making websites, educators need to have a website. A website is a tool for an educator. So in this book, Website Design Basics for Educators, you'll be able to read more about this. And it starts with a preamble. I want someone to read for me that first paragraph. You read the rest on your own. Isaac Musinguzi, I see your microphone is open.
Yes.
Can you read for me that first paragraph?
Okay, thank you. With the easy to use yet powerful web design platforms available today, that is to say Wix, Google Sites, Weebly, WordPress, anyone can create a website. However, that doesn't mean that every website will be available to readers. Nor does it mean that simply creating a website will enrich your students' learning. Websites need to be accessible, well-designed, easy to navigate, and easy to scan. Otherwise, viewers will leave quickly and unhappy.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So, yeah, so if you have to create an education website that enriches student learning or presents information to students, or amplifies your digital, then make sure you explore. So in this book has around 5 chapters, and I'm going to be sharing it in the Google Classroom. And it talks about web design for educators. And one thing that is here, which I want to first talk about here, is the planning. And that was what we were talking about. If you are to plan to have a website, don't just go and open Google Sites or open WordPress and start clicking page, publish, paste. You will be, there's a time we had a training and asked members to create websites with Google Sites. And some of the members, they created websites, but they just went, I think I'm still in that Google Classroom. We were doing, of course, we were having a tight schedule. So we could only have a day, and then we do, we tell the members, coursework, tomorrow do a website, and tomorrow we are going to learn Google Sites. The next day we are going to learn Zoom. The other day we are going to learn something else. So at the end of the day, we taught them quickly, and we went ahead, and the sites they created, you are going to see some of them. The sites that they created were what? Let me just show you. See, okay. Hope you can see. So this is the cohort 2, Edify Teachers e-learning. This was one of the other programs we had. So we also had something about Google Sites, and we asked teachers to create websites, and they tried to create websites. And in this special session, we didn't want to just take you to creating websites just per se, but I want you to know why are we creating these websites. So these members created websites. All of these are Google Sites, but some of them were just creating, and they ended there. But others did something good, and they are built, continued where they ended. So before you create a website, others just opened homepage and ended there. Others went ahead and designed and created something more. So in this course, we want you to create a website. So these sites, all these sites are created using Google Sites, and we are going to be seeing more on that. So in this book, they are telling us, and it's one of the reasons here, that when you are to create a website, first ask yourself, why am I creating this website? Am I just creating it because it is a coursework in a certificate in digital pedagogy, so that I pass, I get the certificate, and that's all, or I'm creating it for a purpose? Madam Happy Immaculate, are you on? How are you there? Oh, Madam Maureen, I wanted to hear a voice of a lady. Madam Maureen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what are some of the reasons you are seeing here why we may need to create a website from this mind mapping? Which one of the reasons? Number one?
Oh, that's post homework.
Post homework. So if you can have a website where you can post some homework, that is share information with your learners, copies of course materials, contact information. Yeah, that can be a resourceful website. What else are you seeing?
But you just said them, organize artifacts, keep track of professional achievements.
Yeah, as a teacher, if you, for example, if you go to my website, you see I post there, I've been at this workshop, I've done this. So as a teacher, this can really help later, because you have professional development opportunities. What else? What are you seeing?
Using teaching, link to multimedia activities to use in class.
You can be posting some work, even during teaching, you can put your slides there, you can put a link to a video. So you just tell learners, instead of telling them to go to YouTube, you tell them, go to my website, mukalede.net, click on the homework tab or click on the class tab, you'll find the video about Napoleon, which I've just talked about today. Or you can use it as a platform to share. These days, some of us are in schools with the internet. So you can use your website as a pedagogical tool. A tool that you can use in teaching and learning. What else? Which other reason?
Share curriculum with colleagues.
Share curriculum with colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah, so share curriculum with colleagues, because you have colleagues who are looking for content. If you have managed to dig some content supporting a given topic, put it there. And this is actually what was giving me encouragement when I was starting shareability, to share content and curriculum with colleagues. So we need to, and these things can bring opportunities, members. You can be there teaching for 50 years in that school, or 30 years, even retire. And maybe they can give you some retirement package. But another person can teach for only 10 years and is very impactful, and even he comes to your school as a facilitator, or as for me, even being with NCDC, where I'm working as a master trainer, just yesterday we were there on Friday on another project for content creation. It's because of the online presence and the things I do online. So don't just be teaching your mathematics, teach your mathematics, but you publicize, because every teacher is a brand. Then finally, the last reason you see there.
Communicate with parents.
Yeah, communicate to parents. Yeah, so parents can actually know that it's teacher Maureen, and they can be able to support her. So the members who created the websites just because it is a coursework, my friend, that was not good. So when you are creating a website, you have to do also some planning, and also you have to create the content. So you have to think of what will be the menu, and then you can be able to start. And the tool there told us that so I've been sharing, members who have just come in, we are looking at web design using Google Sites as a pedagogical tool, and we are looking at websites. Now, I said in the session outline, I said what is a website, what it takes to get one. So what it takes to get one, that's what now I want to look at, and why Google Sites. Why Google Sites? So basically, to start a website, what it takes to get one, I talked about the planning, then there is a design. You have to get the tool. Let me first get here. There is a content creation, design, maintenance, publishing. It can be very expensive, by the way, because ideally, web design is also a profession, and there are professionals who make websites. But what we are learning today is just the basics of creating a basic website and getting online. Website, if you were to get someone to make for your website, can charge you substantially some good money, because it will tell you things like domain name, hosting. Some of those things can be expensive. Even the design itself, someone can ask you for 2 million to just make a simple site. Yeah, but there are some tools that you can use, and one of them is Google Sites. To create a website by yourself as an educator. And many organizations have used Google tools, so you can be able to create a website using Google Sites. It is free to create. The only thing you may need to buy is a domain name so that you connect it with it. And at this time, I want to ask my colleague, Mr. Mukisa, first of all, to share with us some experiences. Why did he choose to use Google Site instead of using all the other alternatives that are there? Mr. Godfrey, I don't know whether you are on. Mr. Godfrey, I'm going to be diving in to show the basics of how to do this, but Mr. Godfrey, are you able to hear me? I hope this is Mr. Godfrey Mukisa because I talked to him earlier. Okay, let me, if he's not yet ready. Okay, so why Google Sites? Let me just share something on why Google Sites. So, like earlier on, I told you I'm going to compare this with maybe with the WordPress because I'm also WordPress lead and also one of the ambassadors of WordPress. So if you tell me, ask me, WordPress and Google Sites, WordPress is actually more popular, and actually in general WordPress is better and multi-purpose, but Google Sites can be a simple tool to use and has some advantages in some way, for especially if we are just creating a portfolio for a teacher, an online presence. So with WordPress, you may need to host it. Google Sites already has free hosting that is provided by Google under Google Drive. And WordPress, you may have to look at security. You have to be a bit more technical because you have to be sure that your site is updated, the plugins, the hackers, and all those. Make sure that you secure it. But here, Google takes care of the security and all those things, the hosting and all that. So then here, once you have a Gmail, you have a Google site. You just go to Google Sites and create, and you have it. Yeah. So WordPress also has a free plan, and you can also upgrade it. But this one could be a bit cheaper because you only buy a domain name. Yeah, but in general, if you have to do a bigger multi-purpose site, maybe for a school, university, business, payments, and many other things, you can upgrade and maybe use WordPress or any other software. But for this particular program, we thought using Google Site would be easy and can easily blend in. And many universities are using Google Sites for portfolios for their learners. If you try to search, you'll be able to see, I was trying to check through some of the, I will not open them because of time. Many universities tell teachers and students to create sites using Google because they use Google Workspace. So all the learners have university Google Mail, so they create a Google portfolio to showcase their work. So Google Sites is really an easy tool. Now I'm going to be showing how do you create a website using Google Sites. I have a guide here that I'm going to show, and I'm also having a video that I'm going to be sharing. But for now, let me just walk through the basics. Maybe before I'll ask Mr. Mukisa to talk later. I hope members are you still following? Chiri okay?
Chiri okay.
Hey, Chiri okay. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Ogwal, I know you don't listen to Uganda because I don't expect Ogwal to be able to hear Uganda, so you forgive me. By the way, I'm very happy for Uganda because it is the first language in Uganda to get to Google Translate. I was checking it out, and your Google site can actually be translated. And that can be a story for another day. So how to create a Google site? I have some good template here. So to create a Google site, you will be able to go to your Google. I'm going to share this. Let me just walk through this. I'm going to also try to do it practically. So you will go to your Google. Already we looked at the Google tools. So you will click at the top. You will find where there is sign in, and then you sign in. So you will find Google Drive. So the best way to do it is this way, by the way. Don't just go to Google Sites direct. Whereas there is Google Sites here as one of the tools, you go to Google Drive. Because like I said, Google Drive is where the site will be hosted. So the advantage, one of the advantages with Google Sites is There's the free hosting in Google Drive. You don't need to buy hosting. Even a domain you may not need to buy if you don't need a custom domain for the start, like all those forwarded to sites. So you can be able to start and do your pages. So you go to Google Drive, that's the first step. I'm going to give you this in our Google Classroom. Now, when you go to Google Drive, you create a folder. You create a folder, this is a quick walkthrough. So you have create a folder, and in this folder, we shall be able to create a folder where we shall put our website. Like we say, the website is a collection of files. So you create a folder. We already looked at Google Drive. So you create a folder. Now, if you have photos, you upload your photos such that you'll not be bothered to be uploading photos every time. So you can upload them at once before creating, but you can also upload them later. But in that place, in that folder there that you have here, called it website photos. So you select your photos and you upload them to the site, to the folder that you have created. Now, when you are still in that folder, you can now go to My Drive, More, Google Site. Now they will create the Google site in that folder, when the one that you have opened. So you create a Google site, and that folder will be the one which will be hosting your Google site. So in Google Drive, there is an option for Drive, More, Google Sites. You can even right-click in Google Drive and then you say New Google Site. You try to create a Google site within Google Drive. And when you are there, you'll be having something like this. This is going to be your page. It's going to be empty. Is the speed okay, or I continue? Hey, I'm giving a voiceover. So when you reach here, you have a number of things. You can put the name of your website up here. This one, called it Diana Chapter, and you'll be able to come and okay. So there are other things here. There are 3 dots, Google Analytics and other things, but you can just continue down. We have Veams. We have 3 tabs: Insert, Pages, and Veams. So one of the other advantages with this Google Sites is, as compared to WordPress, is that it is simpler to use, because it's just ABC, Google Drive, new site, and you already have some themes here. I took this as an expert in WordPress as well, and also in so I see it as simple to use. And you can be able to come, select a theme, then you go to the pages. So by default, they will create for you one page. They will create for you one page up here. This one page will be the one which will be having the one page will be the one, the home page. It will be the home page. Yeah, so that will be the home page. Okay, so you can be able to create a new page. So there is an option here of add page at the bottom. Add page. Remember, this PDF, I'm going to give it to you. I'm just giving a voiceover, so I'll give it to you. So you create now your page according to your plan. Remember, you planned your page, your website already, and you can create pages. You can also duplicate pages. You can also create a sub page. So when you right click on a page that you have created, as you can see here, you'll be able to see, you can set that page as a home page if you want that page to be the one to be coming first, or you can be able to hide it from navigation. You can create a sub page if you want a page to be under it, like under About Us. Then you have other things, history, what. So you create a sub page which will appear in the menu. So you can see here, if you create a sub page, this is how it looks like. This is a sub page. Okay, so what used to be very difficult to do is something that everyone can do. And here you're creating a more structured page. So you have your pages that you've planned and you have created them up there. And you can be able to click here up, and you'll see a section for navigation. So Google will create a navigation bar at the top, but you can change it, and you can choose the one that you need. So you can see, you can put your navigation to be at the top. So you can choose if you want it to be top navigation, to be at the top of the page, like this, or if you want it to be side navigation, to be on the side like this. So you can choose. So the other advantage with maybe WordPress is that with WordPress you can have more flexibility where you want to put your things, but here you have some limited options that can be good enough for the start. So we are having I can see Mr. Mukisa, you're welcome. I was looking, there was a Godfrey who was on the chat. I thought you were the one.
Thank you. I'll be settled in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Hey. Thank you. So, Mr. is one of our guest speakers here. I wanted him to share experiences as a person who is running this. We shall have questions. So we are having the app here. We can change what you call the header. When you click on this banner at the top, you will see the header. So you can change the main image of the website and you put a better image. Now, you already uploaded your photos to Google Drive when you were beginning. So instead of uploading them again, you just click on Google Drive and the photos will come that you had uploaded. If you had a generic homepage photo, then you select it and it will be there to replace what you are having. And there's also an option for header type. You can choose a large banner. You can choose a banner or title only, depending on what you want. And you can be able to choose. There is also a magic corner here where you can click and you choose it to be lighter, or you can be able to change the image the way it looks. For example, if you have the word here in white, maybe the image is white and you want the image to be a bit darker, you can use that to change. So then you can click on the title and change it to welcome. And okay. I don't know what is happening. Let me retry. Something has happened. But I'm going to restart. Okay, so meanwhile, members, if you have any questions, I'm going to show you. I'm going to first finish walking through this, then I try to do something small, and then we shall be able to go. I'm going to share the resources, the book on web design basics for educators, which guides us, and also the guide, step-by-step guide for creating Google sites in a good way. So I will share these, both of them, for our consumption. And my appeal is, let us not do this just because it is a coursework, but let us do something that we are going to become like Mr. Mukisa, who is having a Google site running. At least such that next time we search on Google, we can see you. So I was somewhere here as I try to finalize. So the title, you can change the font, the text, or the title. There are options there, and there is the pen this side, and we have 3 sections up on this side on the left. We have what we call the insert tab, the pages, and the Veams. So on the insert, you'll see several elements, just like even in other editors, like in WordPress, you see very many blocks. So you can insert many things here on your page. So our page will be taking shape. So we can insert, if you have to insert images from Google Drive, you can insert an image, and the image will be placed. So the images you had placed on Google Drive will be put there. Okay. And you can be able to, this is how our page is looking like right now. You can be able to drag it to the right place. Okay, down there you can click, you can put text. Welcome to Diana chapter. So you can put some text in your work. See, at the bottom here you can type normal text. As teachers, we need to be able to publish content. And there is something that I want to borrow from this book. There is a chapter talking about writing for the web. So writing for the web, we don't just write things for the sake. In the other coursework, I saw some people just writing for the sake. But with education websites, you write information because you are an authority, write correct information. People are going to read word by word. And make sure when you are writing content, it is engaging, informative, and it is, you can even write your information in Microsoft Word, and then after that, you paste it there. You format it, the white space and all that. So when you are writing, you can read this chapter. It will teach you more about the use of subheadings, the use of the language, basing on your audience and the readability. So we need to do some good work that is going to help us to get there. So all this information about reading is there in the Web Design for Educators book. So write good content, use subheadings well, and let us get there. So you can be able to change here the styles using the options at the right here. For formatting, you can use columns and you put pictures beside your work. Okay, can insert a video from YouTube so that you have some video, multimedia content. You have a video. As educators, we already looked at YouTube under discourse, so you should be able to organize. You can organize a course page and you have a video. When learners are going home, home holiday work, you send them a link and you find there the lessons. We create videos, you can insert maps, the number of objects they are showing us here that you can insert in our work. So at the end of the day, you are having a website like this one here. You're having a website, the chapter, there's a menu, there's a good header, there is a welcome page here, and all the other pages you created, you can go there and also add and edit content there. I have, if I'm to show you earlier, I had told you that there are some members who try to create sites, and yeah, but we should be able to create some good work as well. We need to take our time and do something so that even when you are making your business card, you have something to put there. Yeah, so this is the website for Mr. Mukisa, mukisa.org. He has put his menu, and I'm seeing he was even putting subjects, computer studies. Then he also has another one for filling art. Yes, this is filling art, and he has put his mission. Filling art is his organization, and he's trying to put shop, academy. See, he has not paid anyone to do this website. He has done it himself, and he has connected his YouTube and his other pages. So members, you can do something, and you have a website. Really, don't think that it is a website is only for the selected few. everyone can do this, and let us put in. Mr. Mukisa, I'm now on your website. You can tell us, share some experiences and encourage the members. Hey, Mr. Mukisa.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Can I go on?
Yes.
I want you to visit that page for the one for filling out. Filling out, you look at the logo. I'll talk about a few things. One is the logo. This logo, I looked at the pixels, the dimensions of Google. Google has Google Workspace, Google what? Google logo. So the whole interface is made just like the Google is done. We go to solutions.
Okay.
Look at the drop-down menus. I found this when I visited YouTube. The way they are doing YouTube, there's some tutorials, they do drop menus. Even today I was looking at, was it Google One? I keep looking at their sites. It's the same way. I'm using a free mail, but there is a paid version. I don't know, when you try to search, when you try to type fillinat without putting www, what does it bring? Use a incognito. Try to use incognito or another browser which you have never used to open fillinat, and just type
fillinat.com.
Just type fillinat.com. Don't put a www. It will bring an error.
Okay.
Yes. If you just type fillinat.com, it says the website is not there. That's why I emphasize in sharing www.fillinat.com. But when you have a paid version, you are able to talk to the technical people. Actually, I was talking to Rogers and we find a way of finding solution to that.
Yes,
so
it's a DNS thing.
Yes, something with the DNS. So for me, I've not found out, but I think Rogers is an expert. I need to meet Rogers and we find out what can be done, so that even when someone.
Maybe Mr. Mukisa.
Yes.
Let me first get some questions. How did you manage to get this domain Fillinat connected to your Google site?
I just followed the instructions.
Okay.
Do you have? There's a website they are using that you was editing. Can you visit it?
Okay. Let me go to sites.google.com. Let me go to one of the sites here. So that's okay. Actually, what I was telling members, let me by the way, my internet is getting off a bit. Hello?